Already, friends, we have taken the sample calculations. Now, we will think about the observation table readings and calculations. From that, we will plot the graphs and find out the conclusions. Okay. First part, in which we are going to maintain the pressure of discharge constant, that is equal to 14 kg per centimeter square. Okay. And for that constant pressure, by variable speed arrangement, we will increase the speed from 700, 800, 900, 1000, 1100 and 1200. Like this 6 readings we will take. For this every reading, we will measure the time required for 2 liter quantity. That is, for 700 rpm speed, 32 seconds were required to collect the quantity 2 liters. Then we have to find out the discharge. Discharge means volume divided by time, or volume per unit time. Means 2 liter quantity divided by 32 seconds, that will give me 0.0625 liters per second. That is nothing but the discharge. Okay. Means from these readings, we can plot the graph of this discharge against the speed. Means if for constant pressure of a gear pump, if we will increase the speed of the gear pump, what happens to the discharge? Means we can observe here, if speed is increased, the discharge is also increasing. Means if I want some discharge, particular discharge, suppose I want 0.0855 liters per second discharge, I should keep the speed of that gear pump equal to 1000. That thing I will get, or information I will get from this one. Okay. That graph we will plot, that is nothing but the graph plotted here. Discharge versus speed. Okay. Here the speed is shown 700, 800, 900 like that rpm. On y-axis the discharges are written. Okay. Discharge, that value is written. Scale is taken 1 centimeter equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 LPS. You can take different speeds and plot the graph. The graph is showing such that as the speed increases, the discharge increases. First observation, from that first observation, first graph and the conclusion. First conclusion is, as the speed of gear pump increases, its discharge increases. Now, second observation. Okay. We are going to keep the speed of that gear pump constant. Means it is run at 1200 rpm. Okay. For that speed, we will increase the discharge pressures from 10 kg per centimeter square, 14, 18, 22 up to 30. Means we are increasing the pressure on the discharge side of that gear pump. Okay. We will measure the time required for 2 liter quantity again. The time required is 19.48, 19.02 like that. Okay. From this we will find out the discharge in LPS. Again same formula, discharge equal to 2 liter quantity divided by the time. It will come 0.105, 0.102. Okay. Now for constant speed, we will plot one graph that for constant speed, if pressure is increased, what happens to the discharge? If pressure is increased, what happens to the discharge? And that graph is plotted. That graph is nothing but second graph. Okay. Discharge versus pressure. Okay. On x-axis, the different values of pressures are taken, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 kg per centimeter square. On y-axis, different discharges in LPS are taken. Okay. From this graph, if we will plot it, we will get idea that though we are increasing the pressure on the gear pump, the discharge is remaining constant. And that is one of the most important property of positive displacement pumps. Gear pump is positive displacement pump, where if we will increase the pressure on discharge side of that pump, then also discharge remains constant. That is the advantage. Okay. In case of centrifugal pumps, if pressure is increased, you may have studied in third year engineering that if pressure is increased, the discharge decreases. Okay. That is nothing but the drawback. Okay. This is second observation and second graph. Then part 3 of this experiment. Okay, for the same speed, we are going to increase the pressure, we are going to measure the discharges. At the same time, we are going to measure the time required for one revolution of energy meter. Now, energy meter is connected as the input to the gear pump. Okay, time required for one revolution of energy meter we are measuring. That is nothing but this one, 46, 43, 39, 36, 33, 30. Okay. From this time required for one revolution, we can find out how much energy is consumed or how much power, input power is there to that gear pump. And that calculation is shown here. Input power in watts is nothing but 510, 557 like this. If we are increasing the pressure on the gear pump at constant speed, the input power required is calculated here. This is nothing but the input power required. Okay. Then whatever power is there, it is in watts. Means we should convert whatever calculations are there, we should convert it into watts. Okay. This is input power to the gear pump. Now we will calculate output power of the gear pump. Output power of gear pump is equal to, output power means pressure into discharge of the fluid. Whatever the hydraulic fluid is coming out from the pump, the pressure on that multiplied by its discharge is called as nothing but the hydraulic power, and that is output hydraulic power of the pump. Okay. Now discharge we are knowing, that is in LPS. Pressure we are knowing in kg per centimeter square. Convert this kg per centimeter square into Newton per meter square. It is shown here. Pressure Newton per meter square is shown here. Okay. Then discharge, which was in LPS, it is converted into meter cube per second. Why it is converted in, pressure is converted into Newton per meter square and discharge in meter cube per second? Because whenever we will multiply Newton per meter square by meter cube per second, we will get the value Newton meter per second, that is joule per second, means in watts. Output power we will get in watts. Okay. This 981 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter square multiplied by 0.105 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter cube per second, that will give me 103 watts. This is output power, called as output hydraulic power of the pump. Output hydraulic power, and this is the thing but input electrical power. This ratio will give us efficiency. Okay, means hydraulic efficiency is equal to output power divided by input power. This value is coming equal to 0.0216, means multiplied by 100, that means 20.16%. This one below 25.13%. Like this, different efficiencies we will get. This is nothing but the output efficiency of the pump. Okay. Now just see one sample calculation. I told about the conversion of discharge. Okay. Then For energy meter, how to find out the input power? Energy meter is having constant value, or its constant is 150 R kilowatt hour. Means whenever 150 revolutions of that energy meter will be completed, 150 revolutions of energy meter will be completed, it is consuming power equal to 1 kilowatt hour. 1 kilowatt hour, that is unit. Okay, means 150 revolutions. Now we are measuring for 1 revolution. That means for 1 revolution, how much power is consumed? 1 divided by 150. 150 revolution means 1 kilowatt hour power. Means 1 revolution means 1 upon 150. It is kilowatt hour. I will multiply it by 1000, means it is watt hours. I will multiply it by 3600. That means this power is nothing but watt seconds. This power is nothing but watt seconds. Then how much it is coming? 1 revolution is equal to 2400 watt seconds. This is nothing but the 1 revolution power consumed. Now we are measuring the time required for 1 revolution. Suppose time is nothing but 44.99 seconds. That means 2400 divided by time, watt second divided by second, seconds will get cancelled, and whatever value will come, 510.74, that is nothing but the watts. This is the input power of the electric motor. That means electric power input to the pump. How to find out electric power? Then output power I told, pressure into discharge. But use the value of pressure in Newton per meter square and value of discharge in meter cube per second. Convert that into that and find out the output power. Then efficiency is equal to output upon input. Okay. From this we can find out all the efficiencies. Okay. Then how to convert pressure into Newton per meter square? From this kg per centimeter square, kg multiplied by 9.81 means 10 into 9.81, it will be in newtons, divided by centimeter square into meter square, 10 raised to minus 4, means multiplied by complete value, 10 into 10 raised to 4 divided by multiplied by 9.81, it will come 981 into 10 raised to 3. Okay, like this convert that value also. And that third graph is plotted here. Different pressures are taken here. Okay, you can take in Newton per meter square or kg per centimeter square, and at the output efficiency is taken. As the speed pressure increases, efficiency also increases. These three conclusions we are finding out from this experiment. First is, as the speed increases, discharge of the gear pump increases. As the speed is kept constant and pressure is increased, the discharge remains constant. And third conclusion is, with increase in the pressure, the efficiency increases. These three things we will study from this experiment. Okay. Thank you very much for your patience listening of the experiment.